Hey, it's been a while since I've done a video here. A little while. This is May. So just welcome to my channel. And this is where I do my Mighty Mondays and Thoughtful Thursday podcast with guests I've been doing. But I took a break because I had a retreat that I was planning. So my latest things that I have on here is about the retreat, about Hope Again Retreat and thoughts and the things and trying to advertise and promote and just talk about it. And it's kind of all things retreat for a while. The Hope Again Retreat, that's about all I was doing, is just everything was centered on that. But so I want to do a recap. So that's what this is about. If you want to hear about all the recap, all the things, how it went, and yeah, how God kind of surprised us, and this, and things didn't go as we thought they would, but they went the way that God wanted, and all that, then you can stay tuned. If not, then you probably aren't interested. This is about the retreat again. So I'll probably get back to my Mighty Mondays podcast with guests as soon as I can get high-speed internet. I'm waiting for internet. So I am just out and about right now at the park with my kiddos, doing this. So I've been busy. I hadn't this week getting home and from the retreat and catching up, and I wasn't able to just do this recap, talk about it like I wanted to as soon as I could, but I took them to the park, and now I've got the internet so I can talk about it. Yeah, so the Hope Again Ladies Retreat that I had been planning, and yeah, all the expectations I had for it, then just I wanted it just to be a place for women that have gone through hard things in life to come there as they are, if they're middle of the mess and the hurt and the pain and the struggle and the questioning and the wondering, and just really kind of meet God there and to find that hope again. And through the things we were going to be doing, like through our messages from our speakers, from the workshops, and just from all of those things. And so, yeah, I mean, it went like that, but we sure didn't get as many of the guests as I thought. I really expected a lot more, and we were kind of had a minimum of 25 that we were trying to meet, because that is what, the count agreement was, that we were to pay for 25 guests, regardless if we meet that number or not. The week before we're going into it, we had 14 of us and all, but that was fine, for them. It's for the camp going in with 14, and we ended up with cancellations and all these things, and at the time, and some of our speakers couldn't come, but we had them on Zoom. And so going into the weekend, I mean, after we had a few cancellations, we were getting there on Friday expecting at least 9 of us, but then the 2 more weren't able to come, the attendees, and we ended up with just 7 of us. But it's just so neat, that 7 of us, and the 3 registered ladies, and including my daughters, 2 that made up the 7, was just such a cool atmosphere, just that we could sit together, kind of 2 tables we put together. And then during the talks, well, we were still kind of mostly, they were all able to just sit at the one table and just, community, and just really getting to talk to each other and share and kind of pour into each other. And so the speaker that was able to come, Bambi Lynn, and she is just so creative, so full of resources, and just so gifted in all of those areas, and just so full of passion for women that have gone through things in life, because she has too. She has been right there too. And so she's just really poured in. And I know it was kind of like her going into the weekend was like, oh my goodness, what just happened? We've lost 2 of our speakers, and we were going down from 14, already feeling like, 14, oh no, we wish we had more, from 14 to 7. And it was like, what is going on? What is God doing? Is it the enemy? Is it God trying to show something? And all of these things. So Kenneth was going in like, oh no. But through the weekend, and by the time it was over, we could just see God's hand, and so many things touched the women that was there. They just kept commenting how much they liked the small atmosphere. They liked all the different aspects of it, like the workshops that Bambi was able to pull together. Well, she already had some plan. I mean, she totally planned, prepared for months for this. So totally planned and prepared. But then a few things was kind of like, oh no, we got to kind of fill in some other spots from our other speakers. But they did join us on Zoom, so that was really special. And so someone else share a testimony, just a beautiful story, and the women just loved that too. And so our other speakers were able to join us, and that testimony just really added to the weekend. So it wasn't just us there, myself and Bambi there, but them being able to connect on Zoom too was that's what made it what it was those them joining on Zoom too, and then like with Bambi and just Lynn and just her just being able to come up with some more things to go with what she had already planned was just amazing. God just working through her, the Holy Spirit. I mean, just present in her and just pouring out, and God was just with us, and a few little neat highlights besides the really cool workshops and just having that time to connect in the one-on-one and going. We went for walks. It's a ranch. It's a ranch, so they had all the animals. You could actually, it was where you'd be in where walk right by goats, donkeys, a horse, and then in the pens they had buffalo. There was a couple of bears in cages that we could view. There was like a little cat sanctuary. I'm wondering if I'm missing any animals because it was just so much, and that was just so cool. That and just walk around, and there's going to be a bit of a pond. They had paddle boats and canoes. We couldn't do that. The water was a little low, but just that time spent. Just we went for several walks. Some of them went quite a lot. Just even the first evening that we arrived before we had our supper, and then we had some time. They went for a walk, and then we gathered for praise and worship and a workshop that evening. And so many aspects was so special having a small group. And I know it would have been nice if more ladies could have took advantage of that and been there, and that would have been awesome and all. But I also feel like God is really just, I'm trying to analyze, and I know my fellow speaker Bambi Lynn just trying to analyze, like, okay, just kind of what went like on, and what maybe is God showing us. And it's not that there wasn't any reason why maybe more ladies, shouldn't have been there, but also something in the small. I never realized. I always think, the more numbers you think, more success, right? A turnout is the more the numbers. Seems like you really got to turn out. But when ladies are met, we're there, and God touches them and say, that's turnout, whether it's two or three, and they have that special time, and there was special time together. That's a turnout, and it was a turnout. It was a good turnout in that way, and I really feel going forward. Is there going to be another Hope Again retreat? Yes. When and where? I don't know, but I'm just like, God, what do you have here? What are you kind of showing us? Like, I think really the small kind of a thing is neat. So then I'll know going ahead that I probably wouldn't need a really big place unless God just really shows something like, no, this one's going to be big this time. Okay. But going forward, it would seem like even a smaller place. This one, was accommodated up to at least about over 40 ladies really quite comfortably, and I'm like, so we could have done, so I'm looking at maybe a smaller kind of a place might be neat, and where and when, I don't know, but our family travels a bit. I'm going to be in Canada, hopefully next summer. I would love to do this kind of thing up there in Alberta, Canada. I mean, I would love if there's enough interest, if I really feel that God is really maybe showing me a place, showing me people, making the connections, the people that I would need to help pull this together. I would love to do a Hope Again retreat up there next summer. And then also where Bambi Lynn is from Georgia and her area. I'm already looking at retreat centers in her area. So we'll say I'm praying about it. I was like, God, you'll have to show us, right? You'll have to kind of show her, lay it on her heart. Is this something, is there a need there? Is that something where me and her are to do together? It really feels like we're a good team. I feel like, she did so much there. I feel like more than me, though. I did the things that was helped to find the place and all the registration, all these kind of aspects, and so, yeah, both of us was very much needed. And, if it wasn't for her, we couldn't have done it because no other speakers came, but except through Zoom. So yeah, that's this video is still about the retreat. Can't blame me. This is what I've been doing for the last few months. This is what on my mind the last few months. This is what I've been praying desperately about all the time for the last few months. This is what I've been talking about with my family the last few months. This is what I've been promoting all over Facebook. If you've been my friend on Facebook, you have been plastered and bugged, and Hope Again retreat, Hope Again retreat's coming. And right at the end, I was promoting it so much because, like I said, we were gonna we were committed to paying the camp for 25 ladies, whether they came or not. And so I'm like, well, fine, I'll just tell people come for free then at the end. I'm just like, and I was trying to reach those that couldn't afford it too, right? My heart, so really behind this is not just, having a retreat and helping a woman that's gone through hard things, but those that are kind of just, maybe can't afford these things. Retreats are expensive. And I look into ladies' retreats. I love going to retreats and I look for some to go to. They're expensive. There's so many, so expensive. For my heart is to get something affordable. I want something affordable that ladies that need it can afford to go, because sometimes the ladies that really, really need this kind of thing can't afford that. They just can't. They're not, that will, they have a lot of other expenses, a lot of other things going on in life, and they can't afford several $100s to go to this thing for a weekend. And so that's where my heart is, to get something that is affordable, something that they can help them, to meet them where they are in their in spiritual life, and all of those things, and to help in that way. And so that's kind of what I'm looking at. Places I'm looking at is something that can be affordable, and I would provide that. And so definitely there is hope for the future of Hope Again. There is just whatever God has. I'm praying, and maybe I can make more connections, and maybe other people too that would like to come alongside in Canada to meet that cause, because I really wanted it too for women that was maybe in women's homes. I was contacting women's shelters and different women's homes in different communities, and I guess they wasn't really something maybe they were just able to go to, or I was too short a notice contacting some, because I was confident that I was putting enough word out on Facebook that I would get the people, the ladies, that it was finally in the last couple of weeks is like, oh no, so I'm not getting the word out as much as I thought. I'm going to start contacting different places at that late in the game. I think it was really too short of a notice for that. I don't know. But anyway, that's what I'm on about. That's where my heart is in this. And I just keep praying, God, show us more what you have, because that was an interesting, we didn't know it was going to go the way it was. And we had plans thinking, especially thinking, oh, 25 ladies like this, of course we're going to get 25, of course we are. Like, I want 40, so yeah, we're going to get 25. And then it was like, oh my goodness, we're going in at 14, and then we're ending up at 7 ladies. But it was a very, 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 very special weekend. It was so worth everything. Bambi coming all the way from Georgia, and just the trip she made, plus a little extra trip that she did. And I told her it was worth your every mile coming here, and touching these ladies, and you can just see how much it meant to them. And she was able to have such good conversations with them. I mean, she is so, I don't know, so good, so talented, so gifted, so passionate for them, and a prayer warrior. She's a prayer coach, and so just so good. And the ladies felt it, and just felt that they were loved and seen and heard. And yeah, it was amazing that way. So very much a great turnout, and I can't wait to see what God has for Hope Again. Hope Again retreats, and for me, and for Bambi, and for anyone else, and for other speakers that was part of it, that joined us on Zoom. Ann Haskin is the author of 10 Lost Children that joined us on Zoom, and Aislinn Watts that joined us too, and she has several books. I don't know just the names of them right now, but that she's an author and speaker. They're both author and speakers, and yeah, it's just amazing. So kind of closing. My daughters and I have this opportunity to be vendors with our books at every ladies conference coming up next on October the 18th, a couple hours away from us. It just came up, like I seen they posted this conference posted looking for vendors. I contacted them. I'm like, what kind of vendors? We have books. And she said sure, she would love to have it. So I filled out the form just right this come up like the last couple of days. So we're getting to be vendors. First time experience for me, and we get this opportunity we're gonna have a card and stuff that has Hope Again retreats. And so I don't know what connections we're going to have. I'm just praying about what connections are we going to have, what's going to bring, what's going to happen, what doors are going to be open, what conversations are we going to have. And I'm praying for God divine appointments and just conversations with people that I can encourage and bless, and with our books and what God's done in my life, because God has been so good to me all these years. In our story, my mothering, a mother of 10 with children ages 25 to 3, and then my loss in 2017, and from our story of losing our son, and the hope I have in Jesus. And that book is called Holding On to Hope. I have it here. Okay. Holding On to Hope. Whoop, I had it upside down. Well, no, I didn't. Okay. Holding On to Hope. It's our story of losing our son and the hope in God that has kept us going since. So I'm going to have this book there and talk about it. And yeah, I'm just, God has been so, so, so good to me. And I'm blown away at what he's done in my life and the joy he has given me and the peace he has given me. And that is the God that we serve. He is the same God as he always has been, always will be till the end of time. And you can find that same hope, the same peace, the same joy, the same, courage, and just, excitement in life, for regardless of what you've been through, excitement in life, because we have a God who's watching over us. We have a God who loves us. We have a God who will never leave us nor forsake us and is with us through everything that we go through. We can be excited about that because we don't know our future, and we may have been through some real hard things in life, but we have a God who loves us, who sees us, who knows us, and goes before us, and he's with us always. So we can be happy about that. We can be joyful about that. Joy is that thing that just comes from, not because everything is rosy, but joy is because we know that there's hope and there's a better future. And we have a God who is with us and for us and is there with us just all the time. And I would remind women that we really have to remember who God is. That is where we're going to find our hope and our peace and our joy. When things seem hopeless, then we get in the Word. Who is God? Where is he in our stories? Where is God? He is the God that's been there for us from the beginning of the time, who knew us before we were formed in mother's womb, who seen us while we were being knitted together, and that knew our name before we had a name, that had knew the plans he had for us, that before we existed, and that loved us before we ever knew him, that sent his son to die on the cross for our sins. And it's just, if we could go on and on and on, that is the God who sees us, that is the God who loves us, that is the God that we serve, and he's with us, and he loves you, and he knows you. You've not been forgotten. So I just love to encourage women with that. Okay, I can't wait till this 18th that I'm going to be at this conference. I think it's called True Blue Women's Conference coming up, and near Gun Barrel, Texas. And yeah, we've been to there. Okay, take care. God bless. All the best. And would love to hear from you. If anybody that watches these and are blessed, please contact me. It would just, make my day. So God bless. God is with you. He loves you. He has a plan and purpose for your life. Take care.